In terms of the wide receiver position, who is the top play to me? It's far and away, by a mile, Dontayvion Wicks on the Week 5 waiver wire. The number one play of any position at this point, and somebody I would pay at least 30%. You know your leagues. You're going to know how much you have to go to. If it took me half my budget, whatever you think it's going to take. Probably not every single cent. That's like more of a Braylon Allen after Breece Hall goes down type of move, but I say half your budget if you think it's going to take that much and you're wide receiver needy at this point. That's how much I believe in the player of Dontayvion Wicks. It's a risk to do that. We know the guy has not even come close to a 70% route share all year till this last week, and it took an injury for him to get there. And who knows? It was looking like Christian Watson. What is this injury going to be? It could be an IR stint. Then later it comes out that it might just be one game. That's not going to be nearly as exciting if it's just one game. But let's talk about real quick why, even if it is only one game, I'm extremely excited about Dontayvion Wicks. Per Dwayne McFarland, one of the best follows out there, Wicks has reached a 70% route participation or higher in just 3 games of his early career here. In 2023, Week 15, 15.7 fantasy points. 2023, Week 18, 24.1 fantasy points. And then this last week in Week 4 of 2024, 23.8 fantasy points, averaging over 20 points per game whenever he sees 70% or more of the routes. This past week, given that ankle injury to Christian Watson, 80% of the routes go to Dontayvion Wicks, 24% target share, both leading the team. The guy did have a couple brutal drops, and yet they were down and in the trenches, and they still wanted to go to Wicks time and time again. 13 targets again, pacing the team there compared to 8 for Reed, 9 for Kraft, 8 for Dobbs. 15% target share for Reed and 24% for Wicks. Now, Reed is the guy. I love Reed. He's the one I would take 10 out of 10 times as the number one option here. So damn explosive. But Wicks, he every time he gets used, absolutely thrives. 78 yards, 5 catches, 2 touchdowns, 24 PPR fantasy points. He did drop at least 1 touchdown on the day. It could have been an even bigger day. And that is the risk here. But again, I love that the coach continued to fire him up, continued to dial it up. And we saw Dontayvion Wicks 2 yards per route run as a rookie. Above that, only 26 players since 2011 have achieved that, according to JJ Zacharyson. And that list is like A.J. Brown, Jamar Chase, the elite of the elite. Very few of the guys on that list to have 2 or more yards per route run as a rookie don't actually pan out huge. And we also see that the targets per route run as absolutely massive. He's played 395 routes, and he leads the team with 24% targets per route run compared to 17% for Jaden Reed, 16% for Romeo Dobbs, and 10% for Tucker Kraft. So the man can earn targets, and he can do a ton of damage with them, can Dontayvion Wicks. And so again, the upside depends on how long we have Watson out here, but I wouldn't be shocked if it's even just a game. Wicks comes out here and has a monster banger of a day. He could really supplant Watson, who's done absolutely nothing so far this year. Cannot earn targets, cannot separate. He's so explosive as a rookie. There's definitely upside to him, you'd think. But Wicks has just done so much more every time he's been out on the field than Watson. We already saw Wicks trending into those snaps, 40%, then 45%. And then, of course, again, 80% when the injury did strike. You look at the schedule coming up. The Rams, what's more juicy than the Rams? As great of a matchup as you can ask for. Arizona, Houston, Jacksonville, Detroit, and then the bye. All 5 of those games, none of those teams are scary at all. In fact, all of them are 13th or more generous in terms of schedule adjusted, and 4 out of the 5 are in the top 8 in terms of most points allowed to wide receivers. So I think he's just getting cooking. This guy is so talented. I'm very excited to see what he does. He's, again, Dontayvion Wicks, the number one waiver ad of Week 5, worth 30, 50, whatever percent you think is going to get it done, especially if you need a wide receiver. I think this guy is the real deal and could settle into a every week wide receiver too. And you just don't find that on the waiver wire more than once or twice a season. It's usually in Week 1. At this point, you got to go for it. This is the type of dice roll that I think you got to go for.